Okay. Welcome, folks, to Tanya Today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad.Chabad in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege, a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. We welcome Michael in Germany, TJ, Terrence in Melbourne, Australia, where it's very late. Welcome. John, North Carolina, good morning. Zara's in Malaysia, where it's evening. Susan in Scranton, Pennsylvania, it's still morning. In Morocco, we have Rabbi, where it's the afternoon. We have with us Diane, where it's probably still early morning. Clem, Brisbane, Australia, making history in the making. Absolutely, we are history in the making. You know why? Because we're making it. We make history every day when we come here to learn. We make more than history. We make the future. History is about the past. We're making the future. History in the making, right? We're making it, exactly. Yeah. Carlos in Costa Rica, shalom. Eugenia is with us still in sunny Florida. All right. Julia is in Pennsylvania, having a lovely day. Sandy is wishing everybody good morning in Michigan. Elise is with us in West Virginia. Jackie in North Carolina, Boker Tov. Kathy is in Toronto, my old stomping ground. Yohanan is in California joining us. June is also in Australia. Lorraine in Pennsylvania. Good morning. We've got with us Michael, Allen, Josh, Rodney. We're together with Akoy in Peru. We have Rachel in South Carolina. We have some names I can't make out so clearly. Yola. Alice in Baltimore is joining us once again. Okay. We conclude chapter 10. Chapter 10 is about the righteous. We spoke yesterday at great length. That is something right now beyond us. But that doesn't mean we don't learn about something beyond us. First of all, we have to know what's beyond us. Therefore, we have to know who to look up to, who to connect to. Who to connect to. Right? The human condition is that we want to be connected. Connected to who and to what? That's the only question, I guess. So by knowing that there are righteous tzaddikim, we want to connect with them, as it will ultimately give us the proper connection that we need. Right? So, there are many levels of the righteous, of the incomplete righteous. Incomplete meaning they have some kind of desire, self-directed desire in their heart that come from the four elements of negativity, of evil, right? Earth, fire, water, and air. So earth being a slothness, fire being an anger. By way of example, I'm just giving you some examples. Water being pleasure, and air, boastfulness, by example. So that means there's some element in the incomplete tzaddik. There's no expression of any of those negative character qualities in the righteous, in the incomplete righteous. But there is somewhere lingering in the heart some of that. And that's why they're incomplete. So it might be, nullified 1 in 60, like in kosher law we have 1 in 60. It could be 1 in 1,000, 1 in 200, 1 in 10,000, whatever it is. The point is, there are so many numerous levels of these incomplete righteous individuals. And as the Talmud tells us, that there are altogether, interesting, 18,000 righteous tzaddikim that stand before God, their souls. I mean, in other words, throughout all of time. So if you take I've done the calculation. Give me a second. Let me see if I can do this calculation. Give me a moment. Okay. If you take 18,000, and if you say in 5,700 years is, let's actually do that. Let's say 5783 divided a generation. Let's make it 30 years. So you got 192 generations. So if you take 18,000 and divide by 192, wow. And every 30 year generation, and every 30 year generation, I got a number of 93. I don't know if that's correct. Sounds a lot to me. But those are the incomplete ones. Concerning the complete righteous, Reb Shimon Bar Yochai made a statement in the Talmud that I have seen that the Bnei Aliyah, as he calls them, men of ascent, and they are muatim, there are few. Why are they called Bnei Aliyah, men of ascent? What does it mean they ascend? Because they convert the evil and make it into ascend to holiness. As it says in the Zohar, Reb Chia wanted to ascend to the heavenly shrine after the passing of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, to where he was, and he heard a heavenly voice that told him, whoever is coming here has to be someone who was able to convert darkness into light, to transform bitter taste of the animal's soul and the evil inclination into sweetness of holiness. Only those can enter to the shrine where the Rashbi, Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, was. So that's one explanation of why they're called Bnei Aliyah, men of ascent, is because they were able to ascend darkness into light, bitterness into sweetness. Another reason why they're called Bnei Aliyah is because they do it for the Aliyah. They do it for the ascent. They do it for God. Everything they do is only for God. Not even to quench the thirst of their soul. We all have a quench in our soul to be connected. Some people make a mistake and they think connection is going to be in some negative way. Some people think that the connection is going to be to your loved ones only. But the real quench of the soul is to be connected to God. And through that connection to God, right, you then have a healthy, good connection to others. That is the natural state. So a person, and a righteous person, but not a completely righteous person, seeks to quench that thirst of connecting to God, and therefore does a mitzvah, because there's a thirst in the soul to connect. That's the most basic line, shall we say, that there is in the human condition, that we want to connect. That we want to connect. We want to connect to God. B'nai Aliyah, the men of ascent, they don't do it for the thirst of the soul to connect. They do it for the sake of God. That's what's called in the Zohar the pious ones, a chassid, who does it in order to, for their maker. That they do it for the sake of uniting Kuchivrichu v'Shchinte, the Holy One, blessed be He, and the Shechina, the male part of the divine with the feminine part of the divine, in order to create a union and bring that light of God into this world. This is a very lofty idea. In other words, they sacrifice everything for heaven, just like metaphorically, of that child who sacrifices their life for the sake of their parents. Their love for the parents is greater than life itself. So likewise, life itself wants connection. This is even greater than the desire for life itself, that you want connection. You do it and sacrifice for the sake of the parent. You sacrifice for God. What is the sacrifice over here? That it's totally not about me. Not even my divine connection to God. It's only about doing it so I can create a union in the divine, to bring that union and that light of God into this world. To bring God into this world. That is totally doing it for Hashem. And that's B'nai Aliyah, the other idea of the men of ascent, that they do it for to create that ascent and bring it down into this world. So, in conclusion, in the parentheses at the end of this chapter, the Alter Rebbe says that these two ideas of transforming negativity into positivity, right? That's men of ascent, of bringing everything, sending all the negativity of their animal soul, of everything in their life, and creating that into, converting it into, from Klipas Neiga into holiness, and to do it only for the sake of creating that union above, no personal gain, even the natural desire of the soul to connect to God. They come up together as one, and this is the one idea, and this is the truly righteous, which that there is only mu'atim, there are only very few in every generation who are of that quality. Of that quality. And that concludes the chapter about the righteous. So we need to know about this, because then we need to know that we need to connect with such people. As the Alter Rebbe is such an individual. Our Rebbe is such an individual who, it's totally not about their gain, even spiritual gain, even divine soul desire, even the divine soul desire, which is, what does that mean for me and you? Yes, we need to know about such righteous people so we connect to them, but also that what we can take from this is doing what we're needed for, not what we want and need for our own fulfillment. That we have a connection to, that idea. The righteous take it to a different level, but we have a capacity of doing that also. They do it as that's our whole reality. We can do it because we meditate upon it, we're mindful, we think about it, and we intend that, even though we may not be totally that. But that's okay. We're not a B'nai Aliyah. So Alice, what's the difference between the incomplete tzaddik and the Beinoni, or the incomplete tzaddik? It still has some aspects of the animal soul. So we're going to learn more in chapter 12 when we get there about the incomplete. I mean the Beinoni, and we'll see the difference. But The Beinoni struggles. The incomplete tzaddik doesn't. But there's still something lingers in them. Good question. Perhaps the number 93 seems high because of these people are truly humble. Yep, that's true, June. Thank you for sharing that. Right. Are there 36 hidden tzaddikim in every generation? Yes, that's why I thought the 93 might be high. Maybe I did a wrong calculation. I have to do that again. I made a generation 30 years. And it might be less than that when you think about it. Because normal generation means you have a child in your 20s. So I did 30, right? So the next generation already starts at that time. Yes, so Susan, you're correct about the hidden righteous. Okay. Okay, 25 years is a generation. I don't think there's a, 25 makes sense. All right. Folks, you'll have to excuse me. I have to run right now. I would like to have more discussion, but I can't right now. Just to share that yeah. Okay. We'll share more soon. All right. God bless you all. Have an amazing, wonderful